Wow, it's bright. What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, and all the in-betweens, welcome to the Natural Expo West Pitch Slam. I'm one of your MCs tonight, Asa McKee.
I'm Nate Rosen.
And welcome to the Natural Products Pitch Slam.
Amazing. Tonight you'll hear from 10 amazing brands and our esteemed panel of judges all about these amazing brands.
Yeah. I love it. You'll hear words from our sponsors. A special thanks to Green Spoon and 301 Inc.
Yeah.
Green Spoon always brings the energy. I love it. As well as a fireside chat with our 2024 winners and get to hear about what they've been up to since they've won.
And later in the night, you, the audience, will be able to get involved in voting for your favorite brand. So get excited.
I'd also like to thank the judges. We have, apparently we're going to flank the selection committee first. Thank you to our selection committee hold on.
There we go.
Things are changing. There we go. All right, there we go. Thank you to our judges. Carly, Jason, Kathleen, Taji, and Michael.
Yeah.
We're very excited to have them here. They will have the opportunity to listen to these brands, deliberate, think, and see what they like. But the important thing to remember is
everybody's a winner tonight. And I'm excited to announce the 10 brands that we'll be presenting. We have Growy Foods, A Better Treat, Wild Orchard, Uncle Waithley's, Recoup Beverage, Evergreen Way, Arbor, Neve Foods, Zinca Foods, Willa's Kitchen, and Kaleidoscope Super Ramen.
Perfect. We're already ahead of ourselves.
Perfect.
But if we could jump back one slide real quickly. I don't know how to, can I go back? There we go. See, people are listening to me. I'm not really good with this clicker, apparently. We will have audience polling. That will open up later. It's your opportunity to select your winner, who you think is the brand that you like the most, the brand that excites you the most. This polling will open after everybody is pitched, but you can go ahead and take a picture now, so you've got it and you're ready. This will come up again later. And then we'll go ahead, the beautiful brands. There we go. And now, a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome to the stage, Christine Harvey from 301 Inc.
And Doug Helbig from Green Spoon. Oh, we should go.
You're in control.
I already got one. You just leave it there. Well, good to see you.
Great to see you as well.
Happy Expo 2025.
Happy Expo indeed. It's great to be here with you all today. We're so happy to be here and see this room full of so much energy. It's a great way to kick off this great day. We were meeting and talking about a theme that we might think of, and what came to mind is connection. This pitch slam is, of course, a competition, but it's also so much more than that. So we're really excited to be here and connect with you all today.
Yeah. Thanks so much. As we mentioned, the theme we kept on thinking about was the word connection, connectivity. Now, connection to Green Spoon means so many different things. But the more I thought about it, connection and connecting is really what a broker does, and really what Green Spoon really excels at. Now, first and foremost, are people. If you know anything about Green Spoon or see any spooners in the aisles, you'll know about our people connection, because that's what we were founded on, giving good people good jobs. And now fast forward 13 years, and it's that same connection, the people connection, that keeps Green Spoon so proud and so relevant in the space today. But it's not just the people with Green Spoon email addresses. It's also the brands that we work with. We strive for brand connectivity. We strive for people that are mission-aligned, kind, loyal, hardworking, and don't take themselves too seriously, aren't afraid to pose with a big giant green spoon, because it's more than what we do, it's who we do it with. Second to people is planet. And now more than ever, we feel it's crucial to stay connected with our planet. And that is why, as 1% for the Planet, 1% for the Planet organization, we roll up our sleeves, we get in the farms, get in the fields, get in the food banks, and we just give back. It can be a daunting question, how do I help? But we just bind together and do it. We're proud to say that we're have the most volunteer hours of any 1% for the Planet organization, with over 2,500 hours donated. Thank you. But aside from people and aside from planet, the word connection is probably best seen on how we do things here at Green Spoon. We believe in a small and stable portfolio size, so we can go deeper with our brand partners. We avoid this, over-connection, which leads to burnout. And our small and stable portfolios allows us to go deep, allows us to listen to our brands, allows us to work with them. One area you'll see this is boots in the street. We knew 13 years ago that natural is won in the stores, in the aisles, in the back rooms, and at the registers. Our small portfolio size allows us to stay connected to brands each and every day, connected to the wins, connected to the challenges, connected through relationships. Connection is how we win. But it's not just boots in the street. It's also our relationships at headquarter levels. We have some of the strongest relationships at Whole Foods, at Sprouts, NCG, Infra, Safeway, HEB, and even as of 2 weeks ago, now Kroger. We stay connected to our brands to push for innovation, push for their opportunity, and help them get on shelves. And we do all this through connection and data, what we lovingly call the Spooniverse, our way we collect all of our data, all of our hard work in the fields, in the offices, in the aisles, and we bring those data insights into action. Data is what helps us stay connected to get things done. So in summary, what Green Spoon does is take this and turns it to this, infinite power. So with that, I hope everyone has a great Expo 2025. Happy connecting out there, and we'll see you guys out there.
All right. Well, thanks, Doug. I'm Kristen Harvey, so from 301 Inc. And at 301 Inc., connection is everything. We're here to connect the dots between vision and execution, between founders and resources, and between big ideas and the capital that can bring those to life. And our mission at 301 Inc., more specifically, is to connect you with the resources within General Mills, whether that's to help you scale, to navigate through your challenges, or to help you seize your opportunities. And more importantly, helping you connect with the resources throughout the ecosystem, whether that's other entrepreneurs, through mentors, or perhaps a partner that can help you accelerate your journey in ways that you didn't see before. And that brings me to kind of our challenge for you. So like I was saying, of course this is a pitch slam, but it's about so much more than a competition. Be open to connection. The magic of Expo is not just in winning a competition or getting a deal done. It's within the conversations over coffee, or maybe a chance connection in the hallway, or an introduction that starts small but leads to something big. So today and this week, put yourself out there. Lean in and introduce yourself to the stranger sitting next to you. Ask for help, offer advice, because oftentimes the biggest opportunities come when you're least expecting them. At 301 Inc., connection is everything, and we can't wait to see where your connections take you this week. Thank you, and we'll get started.
Great job. I am so sorry.
No.
Thanks, guys. All right, go ahead.
No, it was perfect. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
are we off of these things? I didn't know, like,
It was
perfect.
All right. Next up, we have a better treat. Enjoy. That's all I was supposed to do.
Hi, I'm Boris, founder of A Better Treat. As pet parents, we all love our pets, but we've also all been up late, and this happens. Dog diarrhea, not fun, smells terrible. My golden doodle, Emmy, she's a sensitive soul. She's 60 pounds, but she's gotten diarrhea from eating one blueberry before, so I was dealing with this a lot. Vets typically recommend pumpkin for any digestive issues. The problem is pumpkin puree is super messy. At A Better Treat, we've come out with the first single ingredient organic pumpkin treats that are a great mess-free version of pumpkin puree. No more mess on your dog's mustache and beard, dealing with a can opener, or having extra dishes. And the other downside of puree is once diarrhea is over, you stick the can in the fridge to save it for later, but it's green and moldy in a week. Our product is shelf stable and can be used as a healthy natural treat as well. Building on that success, we've launched the first organic single ingredient treats on the market. Great as a healthy treat or for pets with allergies or special diets. These customers are looking for specific items that they know their pets can eat, which is a huge advantage of being just one ingredient. The other big advantage is it can be used for both dogs and cats. Finally, all of our products are made and sourced in the US. At A Better Treat, we're huge fans of freeze drying. At the end of the day, it retains more nutrients than baking or cooking, and it keeps those ingredients in their recognizable form, so we can feel good about what we feed our pets. These are some placements we're currently in. Diving into our numbers, we've been growing quickly. Last year, we hit almost $4 million in sales, and we're profitable, and we're projected to continue to increase in growth. With 2025, we're shooting to acquire over 130 customers online to really build our customer base so we can expand aggressively in retail. Our market's been growing quite quickly. In the last 2 years, it's gained over $2.65 billion in revenue, with the natural side growing 53% faster than the conventional side, per SPINS data. We think we're in the unique position of being able to capture that growth with our focus on organic single ingredient treats. This is a bit about our team. At A Better Treat, we think people should feel better about what we feed our pets. Oh, and one more thing, our organic single ingredient treats are at an approachable $9.99. We believe that this will help us succeed in both the natural and more conventional setting. We believe we have the perfect product, ability to do promos, and now pricing. We just need help on the placement end to really take off in brick and mortar. Help us make healthy, natural treats more available and affordable. Would love to open the floor for any questions.
I'm Jason over at Jimbo's
Jason.
retailer. How are you? You have an awesome, amazing product. Love the single ingredient component. It's pretty outstanding. What innovative or memorable ways have you managed to interact and engage with customers in order to make sure that they take your product home, that they put it in their cart and they come back for more?
So we've gotten great e-commerce data that shows that exact element of it. A lot of it really has to do with, so from the online perspective, it has to do with winning the right keywords and then making sure that your new products appear again when they search for other keywords so they can kind of see your brand over and over again. Probably our favorite stat is last year, even with all that growth, 58% of our revenue came from repeat customers, which really shows the fact that once they try it, they come back for more, and that's with growing 60% last year.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm from Manitree.
Hi, Carly.
You have a really impressive ingredient profile, really high standards, organic. I think I even read somewhere human grade.
Yeah.
Could you just talk through some of your sourcing standards or practices or, I guess, sourcing strategy overall?
Sure. So dog has a super sensitive stomach. Organic, want to avoid the pesticides. People do some studies for humans that it doesn't kill you right away. No one does that study for a dog, so I want to keep it as clean as possible. Wanted to give them the same high quality that I like to eat, so grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, wild-caught, things of that nature. And I believe that will really resonate with the consumers, and it currently really isn't being met in the pet space currently.
Kathleen Casanova from Project Potluck. Oh, sorry about that.
No problem. Hi, Kathleen.
My question is really about the use. So you talked about how pumpkin can help remedy stomach issues. Is this intended to prevent those stomach issues and be used as like a treat that, you know, is something that would be easy, or is it used for like when my pet has a diarrhea, the vet says, do pumpkin and rice. How much of the pumpkin treat or otherwise would you know, use as a food versus a treat?
Sure. The great thing, it can be used for both. We recommend half the serving of pumpkin puree be used for a treat. So if it's a tablespoon of pumpkin puree, they recommend around half of that, and you can really just scoop it out of the bag. The great thing is you can use it for both, so you don't need just this pumpkin can that you only use for diarrhea. You can use it as treats. A lot of people currently use puree just to help the dog's digestion, so they try to add it to every meal. Again, super messy. Like, for the people that have dealt with this problem, it really connects with them. They're like, why doesn't this already exist?
Perfect. Hi, I'm Tahaji from Target Accelerators.
Hi, Tahaji.
First of all, kudos to you for going first. It's never easy going first, so good job.
Thank you. A little nervous, but I appreciate it.
So my question was around your future growth. You talked about growing in retail in the future. What are your plans for future growth, in particular around retail?
So we're targeting kind of taking that next step in retail this year. We've been in the retail space for about a year and a half, with our total being about 5 years old for a company. So we were at a higher price point because of e-commerce kind of demands a higher price point. So we just are going to be launching this $9.99 price point in the next 2 months here. And we really believe that based on all the feedback we've gotten from about 400 stores we're currently in, that's the #1 feedback. No one says, we hear a lot about allergies, which our products are great for. We hear the only real feedback we get is on price point. And I'm not going to say we're going to be the cheapest product suddenly, but we're at a price point that we believe is much more approachable. If you're used to buying a $5, $6 treat, when we're on sale, we'd be $7, $8. We're organic, we're one ingredient. I don't think anyone expects us to be the cheapest product there. So we believe that'll really help scale our growth.
Thank you. We can start with you, I think, this time. We should start with you this time, I think. Yeah.
Not a problem, not a problem.
I have good news. They have removed me from clicker privileges, so the rest of the night should go smoothly. Next up, we have Vanessa from Arbor.
Screen's rude. Did you know that pesticides are a leading cause of unintentional death by self-poisoning? Over 1 billion pounds of pesticides are sprayed every year in the US. And homeowners actually spray 10 times more pesticides than the entire agricultural industry. We're all here because we don't want toxic ingredients in us and we don't want them on us. But we don't want them around us either, in our yards, in our lawns, in our vegetable gardens, on our indoor plants. I'm Vanessa Dawson, founder of Arbor, the world's first plant wellness company. At Arbor, we formulate organic plant care products for your lawns, your gardens, and your indoor plants. Our patented biological formulas are as effective as synthetic and organic options, but they keep people, pets, pollinators, and our planet safe. Our bioinsecticide is emerging as one of the top alternatives for non-toxic control of pests in your home and in your garden. Americans love to garden. They spend almost $50 billion a year on plant care supplies, $13 billion of that on consumables such as fertilizers and pesticides. Unfortunately, there has not been any new active ingredients or technology on the market in over 30 years. Customers can shop synthetic ingredients that are highly toxic and effective, or organics that you have to sacrifice effectiveness, and there is a ton of greenwashing in this industry, unfortunately. Arbor sits at an intersection with effective proprietary products, easy-to-use application, and stunning packaging that inspires gardeners to grow a better world. Don't ask me, ask our gardeners. We've been around for under 4 years now, and we've grown to a multi-million-dollar company. We find our customers where they shop. We're online, we're in retail. We're in 7,000 big box stores. We're headed into our 4th year at Walmart and our 3rd year at Target. We also have managed to optimize our supply chain into a scalable platform and optimize our unit economics. Over the past 4 years, we have a reduction of COGS of 30%. We have a gross margin upwards of 50, and that's 25% better than our leading competitors. None of this would be accomplished without my A+ team that we've put together. We have investors, advisors, and employees from the top CPG companies, startups, and retail firms across the country. We also have product, R&D, and manufacturing from PhD entomologists, biological scientists, and leading manufacturing firms. We've come a long way, but we're only getting started. With this win, we're ready to fuel our growth. We want to grow into the 70 million gardeners in the country. We want to grow our A+ team and into retail distribution across grocery and hardware. And we want to grow our ability to solve one of our biggest challenges environmentally and with our health that we're challenged with today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your story. Could you talk a little bit about, to the extent to which you've seen any specific sort of opportunities in particular geographies, whether this is something that's been more effective in colder states or warmer states?
Yeah, we're nationwide in 50 states, so it's a very seasonal business, of course. So we set and load into the southern states early on in the season, and our velocities are usually a lot higher kind of in the south early on, then they increase in the north as kind of the season heads on. So I'd say coastal, but honestly, we're in 2,300 Walmart doors and 1,700 Targets, so we kind of are turning, across the country.
Thank you.
Awesome, great job.
Thank you.
My question is around repeat versus new customers. You talked about products already on the market. Can you tell us a little bit more how you've been able to stand out? Is it repeat customers or new customers, a mixture of both?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. We've got about a 20% repeat on our D2C. It's obviously hard to measure repeat in retail, but we definitely see customers going back, finding our product on D2C, and the number one reason they're not purchasing there is because they're going to Target or they're going to Walmart. So we're definitely seeing, people go back year over year, and we measure it basically by velocities and spend. So our year over year growth in velocities, is happening in all of our retailers.
You talked a little bit about finding customers where they are. What is the reason or the strategy behind being at a Target or a Walmart versus like a Home Depot or a Lowe's? Like, what kind of consumer are you targeting in those places versus like a big box, hardware store?
Yeah, well, we want to make gardening organic products accessible everywhere across the country. We launched with Home Depot and Target because they actually turn at a little bit of a lower velocity than hardware. So as we were getting our legs under us, our supply chain optimized, and just making sure our inventory and distribution was flowing, we wanted to opt for those retailers. We're expanding into hardware though in the coming years.
Cool.
Could you talk a little bit about how you developed your formulation? It's patented, congratulations, but just curious, sounds like it'll be a point of differentiation for you going forward. So how did you guys develop that?
So I worked with a PhD entomologist, and she's a 30-year biological scientist. She's actually started and IPO'd 3 biological tech companies. So she's done this numerous times, sourcing formulations for big agriculture. We took some of the technology that she's found and formulated and made it ready to use for the home and garden industry.
You're obviously in a lot of amazing retailers already, but for the retailers that you're not in currently and that you're trying to get into, what's the biggest barrier that you see to getting on shelf, and how are you going to overcome that?
Yeah, it was format. So we launched in concentrates. Concentrates are not necessarily a large outdoor format that people can use, and customers unfortunately are a bit lazy and they want ready to spray and ready to use. So we actually have been in product development on those for the last 2 years. We just launched our ready to spray product line this year in independent garden centers, on Amazon and online, and we'll hopefully be launching that into the Lowe's the following year, and we have our ready to use in registration right now. So we're covering our bases on application format, which was definitely the biggest barrier.
Thank you.
I have one more. If you want to do the last 20. Tell us about us. What's your background?
Yeah, so I have a background in venture capital and private equity, actually, and in software development. And I also launched one of the largest accelerators for female founders across the country. So we helped women raise money for their CPG companies and worked with lots of innovation arms like Procter & Gamble's innovation team and I don't know, bank innovation, JP Morgan Chase's innovation team. And then, kind of came across this when I had my first kid and bought my first home, and I could not find any ingredients that I wanted, that I was using non-toxic ingredients, on my skin and on my babies. But when we went to plant our first vegetable garden, there was nothing that I would buy from a effectiveness or a quality of ingredient or a brand that was like beautiful and kind of showed up in the way that I wanted. So, yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Should I start? Yeah. Okay. And we can skip me because I just asked a double.
Oh, I loved it. It was helpful.
All right. Hello again. Next up, we have Aman from Growy Foods. Give it up.
Close your eyes and imagine waking up in India to the aroma of spices tendering in oil. Before you know it, the whole house and you smell like a walking spice box. Well, that was my childhood. Fast forward, while I don't miss smelling like garam masala anymore, I do miss the explosion of flavors that defined every bite back then. Or as I like to say, staying a little spicy. So I kept FaceTiming my mom, trying to recreate those same flavors, but it took me hours. I wanted something more convenient, like a dip or snack, something I could scoop out of. So naturally, I hit the most convenient part of the grocery store. And all I saw was a sea of quesos and salsas, watery, mostly tomato-based, and they just had one use. Sure, I could use it with chips. Anything else? I don't know. I saw dips that were stuck in the 1900s, all about basic convenience. Then there were dips which brought better ingredients from the early 2000s. But there was nothing that would excite the global flavor lovers of today, or products that I call third-wave dips. And it's not just me. Data is showing us 65% of the consumers are very curious about global flavors today. International snacking, as per Whole Foods, is on trend. So I started to see a white space here, and I filled it, introducing Growy's Next award-winning dips. Think silky sauteed eggplants with umami-rich tomatoes, fresh milled spices blended into a creamy finish. And we use fresh veggies as our #1 ingredients. So you get dips that are delicious, but also surprisingly nutrient-dense. And they're made with care, inspired by my Indian heritage. In fact, these dips are so rich, your taste buds will probably need a prenup. and that's where consumers are using it as a spread, as a salad topper, as a protein topper, and so much more. And the market opportunity is big. The dip salsa spread is the $5 billion sleeping giant. While Frito-Lay's dips have declined 17% in the last 2 years, specialty brands like Pramla Kitchen have quadrupled in the same time, led by their spicy queso SKU. At Whole Foods, the entire category is up 29%. As for us, we're already winning. In the last 2 years alone, we're in Gelson's, Fresh Time, DoorDash, 200 independents. We're priced at $7.99, right in line with our competition. We have a great Amazon repeat purchase rate. And for the next 2 years, we're focused on growing our distribution in the national channel with stores and retailers like Whole Foods, Sprouts, and Jimbo's. We have an A-list team backed by individuals with great CPG experience, with decades of CPG experience, mentors and advisors from companies like Coca-Cola, Whole Foods, Lily's Chocolate. So join me for the flavor revolution, because the future of flavor, it's already here. And we're at booth 7819. Thank you so much.
Your product is sensational. It is amazingly flavorful. It's satiating. It goes with everything. It's super versatile. But tell me, how does sustainability, environmental sustainability, play a role in your brand and your products, and how are you going to communicate that to consumers?
For sure. So we use glass jars. That's like the most basic thing, and metal lids. But we manufacture very close to where we source our products. So over time, I realized that all of the vegetables, especially peppers and zucchini, and even eggplant, that was all coming from Mexico. So we moved our manufacturing to Texas now. And the goal is to make this, process it as less as we can, close to the source.
I love, your products were incredible, so fresh, so they're very flavorful, but really fresh. As you think about kind of those core brand attributes, how are you thinking about innovation? What's kind of next after the dips?
So we want to have veggies as the center, but that's almost like if I tell someone, hey, my product is made with veggies, like, sure, yeah, but the key here is flavor, and that comes from fresh milled spices. So we source our spices from within the country. That comes from North Carolina, and every batch that we make that is made, the spices are milled fresh. So the center of the brand is going to be always global flavored products, and the ingredient list has to be super clean, and that's why we have veggies as our most center ingredient, and that's why that's the first ingredient in all of our SKUs. Yeah.
How are you approaching consumer education to help them think beyond what a dip typically is, and how are you attaching that to acquisition?
Of course. So we have sort of channeled our spend entirely in store. So all of our marketing goes in store and some social media. And along with that, we do a ton of demos. That's when we get to connect with our customers. Then we make sure we give out coupons too. And at the same time, we're trying to put our products in a 2-ounce cup, which is almost like for a trial. And I've been talking to some retailers and hopefully an airline company too, if we can get that in people's mouths in that smaller 2-ounce cup packaging. I learned that from Brooklyn Deli, who had a similar product. So with Purple Carrot and with meal kits in retailers, so that's another way that we're almost ready with that product.
You stole my question.
Great minds.
Tell us a little bit more about the price point. For $7.99, you talked about how customers, right, they're familiar with other dips, right, that are in the aisle.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to attract, so one step deeper from your question, how do you plan to attract customers at that price point who may not be familiar with your product already?
That's why the in-store promotion really helps, and that promotional spend goes to lowering our price point, and whenever we can, during game days, during the holidays, that's when people can connect like the different uses as well. And at the same time, I don't feel that we're too high priced at this point, because I literally went to Bristol Farms today, Primal Kitchen was $8.29. And salsas most salsas today, like even if you look at late July, is $6.99 to $7.99. So after doing demos, I feel really confident with the price point, like at least for our product. So, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about where you guys have grown to this point and how you see your future growth from a revenue perspective?
Yes. So we just we were on a trial with Fresh Time from the holidays, and we were lucky enough to be transferred to the regular set. So now we're in their salsa and chip section, salsa and condiment section. And in the future, we're focusing all of our growth in the Northeast. We are in communication with Whole Foods in the regional set as well, but that's our focus now. And I hope that's kind of it.
Next up, we have Sherry from Kaleidoscope Foods.
My name is Sherry, and I'm the founder of Kaleidoscope Foods, a line of high-protein, low-carb instant rice and ramen inspired by the Shangri-La, a place some believe holds the secret to immortality. The truth is, we are a flavor fusion between Tibetan, Sichuan, and Yunnan superfoods, anciently crafted for function, to fuel intense mountain labor as well as long days of meditation. When I moved to the US, I was disappointed that the functional foods here tasted like cardboard, and the Asian flavorful cuisine were stigmatized for being cheap and oily. determined to restore that balance between functional and flavorful eating I once had in the Shangri-La, I launched Super Ramen and Super Rice. These grab-and-go cup noodles and rice feature 32 grams of protein and just under 14 grams of net carbs. They're air-dried, never fried, and the Super Rice is gluten-free. Our secret ingredient native to the Shangri-La is the konjac plant. It serves as a carb-free alternative starch, a blank canvas ready to be transformed into any dish. Then comes the pea protein that we mix in to bring that essential macronutrients, as well as that chewy, flavorful texture without the cardboard taste. Finally, we blend in the spice that creates the depth and the culture for every bite, whether you're exploring the world or just elevating your next meal. My journey began during my MBA at the Wharton School, where I worked with a food innovation lab to incubate the concept, working with the students as my first customers. Before Wharton, I worked in investment banking between the US and Asia, and previously launched a Y Combinator-backed startup that generated $40 million in revenue. University will continue to be a very important channel for us as we provide convenience and nutrition to busy students. We're also working with the viral self-serve ramen bars that are emerging across the US. And finally, we work with vegan subscription box providers to proactively identify and send to customers. We are currently only available online, but we're working with KeHE to distribute to retail this year. During phase 1 of our expansion, we also have plans to launch konjac desserts and snack. During phase 2, we will launch konjac nutritional supplements, positioning us as a lifestyle nutrition brand, tapping into this $856 billion industry hungry for innovation and ethnic flavors. Our food may not grant you immortality, but by balancing functional and flavorful eating, it fuels your body and your mind and bringing you closer to your own Shangri-La. Thank you so much. Jasi Dele.
Starting to say. Can you talk a little bit about how you separate yourself on the shelves from a price point perspective?
We are $4.99, which is right at the same area as our competitors.
How do you plan to create trial with customers that may not be into online shopping and that are shopping brick and mortars, coming in for the first time to see your product? And once you capture that customer, how are you going to continue to engage with them?
Sure. I think bringing awareness with the customers not shopping online, there are a couple of channels that they could find us. For example, we have a target to university students, so working with university clubs to sponsor some of the events, some of the things where we can write recipes for people to add different toppings to the ramens as a ramen competition is one idea we're working on. Also, from brick and mortar, people are leaning in towards a lot of these self-serve ramen stations that you can go and pick out your favorite ramen and cook it up. I think another thing that differentiates us is we're willing to sell our product as individual packs at $4.99 as opposed to like a 6-pack or 12-pack. So it really lowers the entry level for you to trial, so that risk is a lot lower, and we're doing that online and offline as well. So once we get into retail, we would be sponsoring promotions as well as doing individual trial units for people.
This is perhaps a build on that, but
Yeah.
This is a huge market concentrated in a few kind of big brands, right? And so as you think about capturing the market share from them, like what do you think is most important? Protein's obviously all the rage right now, but how do you kind of see what's most important for you guys?
Yeah, I think very important for us at the early onset site is identifying the target customer. So there are a couple of target, whether it's keywords or demographics that we're looking at, and that is, people with special diets like diabetes, like keto, like those who are looking for gluten-free specific words, as well as with non-GMO, something with low sodium. Those are the keywords that we want to target. So it's not specifically the broader ramen industry, but rather something very specialized. But in the future, we do hope to evolve into something that everybody will be familiarized with because everyone is looking for a better for you alternative version of the ramen.
Can you tell us a little bit about the name?
Yes, so Kaleidoscope is our name, abbreviated as KLDSCP, because that's just the easiest to trademark. But in addition to that, it is a religious wheel, also known as a Dharma wheel, beautiful in different variations and colors from Buddhism that shows the essential universal truth that we want to represent, that we seek in our life.
Do you have any plans for product expansion? And if so, what is it?
Yes, product expansion-wise, with a konjac as the base, it serves as a canvas to be made into anything. So it could be a flour product, it could be a dessert, it could be a nutritional supplement, jelly, gummy. We have full line plan in front of us, and just like, as I mentioned, in phase 2, so about 3 years out, we will be like a full nutritional supplement and nutritional lifestyle brand, all based by konjac.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again.
Who's on where?
I'm here to
Okay.
introduce our next pitch. Oh, we have Nora from Neve Foods. Give it up.
I'm Nora, and I'm redefining the way athletes eat in a portable, resealable, and functional plant-based format. Now, I'm probably the smallest brand here and the newest brand here. And you're probably looking at that photo and thinking, that's a pretty cool photo, right? Like, who is that? That's me. See, I've traveled across the world to climb and ski mountains, including some of the tallest peaks here in North America. And there's been one consistent problem throughout. Eating as an athlete is hard. Now I know what you're thinking. It's 2025, the energy bar market is saturated. How can eating as an athlete possibly be hard? Well, for years, us athletes have been told what to eat. You have gels, which are meticulously manufactured to serve a very intentional purpose, but they require a lot of gut training and a lot of trial and error. Then you have bars, which are hard to chew, hard to digest, and frankly, I've never met a bar that I liked. So how can I take the best of both of these products and create something completely different, 100% functional, and designed to meet the unique nutritional needs of athletes? And that's how Neve was born. But I did not stop there. I then teamed up with a registered dietitian, and we leveraged fruits and vegetables in their natural elements, like beets, which are scientifically proven to support blood flow, and tart cherries, which are proven to aid in recovery. See, every single ingredient in Neve is designed to support the athlete. Plus, our athletes are loving our resealable format because it empowers them to fuel on their own terms. Neve is sitting at the intersection of two growing markets. You have the vegan market, and then you have the global sports nutrition market, which are both growing year over year. Our direct-to-consumer margin sits at 55%, and our wholesale margin sits at 36%, with a clear path to increasing that by at least 11.6%. Our returning customer rate, we only launched in November, is showing that once customers purchase Neve, they're likely to repurchase, which is why we launched subscriptions on our website. But don't take my word for it. You can check our almost 85 stars on our website since our November launch from bikers, hikers, skiers, climbers, hunters, gym goers, and yogis who are all using Neve to fuel their adventures. And our strategic placement sets us up perfectly for national growth, like Copper Mountain, movement climbing gyms, and announcing our largest and newest partner, Vail. I personally show up and sample at these locations. We're also available at local climbing shops and outdoor gear stores. Now, Neve already has 2 more flavors in the pipeline. We're adding to our functional athlete-driven products. And this year, Neve is taking on some of the harshest conditions on the planet to climb the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. Will you join us? Thank you.
Could you talk a little bit about where you guys sort of see yourselves, how you plan to or have been able to compete in or sway customers from existing products to try something like yours?
Yeah, so there's a clear gap in the market, right? Athletes, especially endurance athletes, so that's gonna be anyone who's out for probably more than an hour and a half, are needing alternative nutrition. For years, we've been seeing athletes turning to other products that aren't necessarily packaged goods. So right now the key is sampling, right? This is a very different product than what most people are used to. So when I go to Copper Mountain on a Saturday and get product into hundreds and hundreds of mouths, people see the need. And then they know that they can put it in their pocket, use some of it, reseal it if they don't want to eat all of it, and then use the rest later if they want to.
What set in a grocery retail environment do you see your product living in? Something next to like Mama Chia or something like that?
Energy bars.
And how are you differentiating from those products and getting customers to grab yours over the competitors?
Yeah, so right now Neve is focused specifically in the outdoor space because this is a product that was designed for outdoor athletes, and we're really testing the market in this space specifically. So once we do move into grocery, it'll be in that energy bar set. There is no product out there like Neve. This is more calorically dense intentionally because adult athletes need calories. It's higher carb intentionally, and there's some fat in there to offer you some more sustained energy. So the product itself is really scientifically backed. We have 2 flavors. The tart cherry cacao is more recovery focused. It's a perfect 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio, while boysenberry is designed to be more just high carb. So each flavor like kind of fits in an athlete's strategy. So it's a lot of education, but once people try the product, they convert.
Could you talk a little bit about the manufacturing process? I know you're small and just getting started. Have you found good co-manufacturing partners? How are you manufacturing the product?
You can ask my manufacturing partners in this room tonight. It took me 4 years. 6 years. This process has taken me 6 years to launch Neve in November. It took me 4 years to find a manufacturing partner. And that's because people just want to go scale with pouches, and that was too high risk at this point because this is a very new product. But I feel very lucky with my manufacturing partner. He is very eager for me to grow my production, and the mutual trust there is awesome. So I feel very lucky.
That's great.
What's your biggest pain point or challenge right now that you're trying to solve?
Education. This is a very new product. So again, we started in the athlete market because athletes use nutrition that works. And once they know it works, they're sold. They won't switch because it's too hard and challenging and frankly expensive to try new products. But then that means I'm teaching a lot of consumers, maybe they go skiing once a week or once a month, and they just don't really know how to eat. Nutrition is a huge problem in the athlete space. People just don't know how to feed themselves, which sounds silly, but it's actually a huge problem. So education.
My question's around how many packs, how are they sold, right? Are they sold individual packs? Are there variations of it? Can you buy 2, 3, 4?
Yeah.
And what is that repeat customer rate like?
Yeah, so 6 packs on my website. You also buy singles just because trying to get people to try the product. In store, it's you buy singles, and then it's a 40% returning customer rate for a D2C.
Good job.
Thank you.
She's from Vail. Okay. I wanted to say something. I should.
Oh, no problem.
Sure. Okay.
Ooh, the timing of the music was beautiful that time. Next we have Susan from Recoup Beverage.
What a good looking crowd. I'm so excited to be here, yes, to share Recoup. We're the first gut healthy hydration beverage, and we're the first beverage brand to be regenerative organic certified. It all starts with our maple tree water, a plant-based water that's pure with electrolytes and minerals. It's ultra hydrating. We've been partnering with our maple tree farmers for over 6 years to bring this amazing ingredient to life. It's regenerative organic certified at Gold, the highest level. And Recoup delivers your daily dose of resilience. So maple tree water is a key ingredient, along with prebiotic fiber for gut health and real ginger at a functional level for digestion. We're the only beverage brand that's bringing gut health and hydration together, which is key for proper gut function. Recoup's subtly sweet from juice, and there's no added sugar and no stevia. For us, Recoup is personal. I was a college athlete in the heptathlon, fed on this lifelong quest for healthy hydration. My co-founder was born with gut health issues. He went through 10 major surgeries before he was 12. His mom's ginger-based home remedies played a big part in his recovery. Resilience has been a common thread for both of us. So we launched in June 2024, and we're off to a great start. We're expecting over $1 million in revenue in this year, 2025. We have a competitive MSRP that's slightly premium, and we can see from Instacart that we have 30 to 50% repeat, depending on the flavor. And I'm jumping for joy to announce that we are launching nationally in Sprouts on May 5th. Yes, woo! And we have amazing retail partners, Jimbo in the house, and we are just really excited to be growing in the natural product channel. We support our retailers and grow our community through 360 marketing, driving to in-store with demos, and improving our velocities. I don't have to tell this crowd that the better for you soda category is on fire. So they're not addressing hydration, and a lot are full of added sugar and sweeteners. We're focusing on the natural channel where we think there's a great opportunity to start. And we're on a roll, so we've made some headlines with BevNet Championship, winning the New Beverage Showdown. We are part of the Regen Brands Coalition, and in January, I was live in 8 million households on Home Shopping Network. Fun. Thank you. We have a great team, and we're supported by amazing advisors across the CPG. We're on track for over $25 million in revenue in 2028 with really strong gross margins. And we're fueling growth for this launch. So we are raising $750K with a safe note, and that'll put us through next year supporting our retail launches. So thank you. I hope we can connect at this show, and you can join our team to champion resilience for people and the planet. Thank you. Oh, no. Thank you. We didn't practice that in the run-through. Yeah. Yes, encore, thanks. Yeah.
I'll start. So the ROC certification is obviously phenomenal. It's the first in this beverage industry. Why was that important, and why did you go to market with the ROC certification to start with?
I mean, for us, we wanted to create something that was a positive impact on the world. And when we started, we were looking at how can we be more sustainable. Being regenerative organic certified was sort of the height of having positive impact. And so we really, from the beginning, were looking at that as a way to ensure that we're making a positive impact through our products with every single can purchased. Thanks.
Could you talk a little bit about your core consumer? Who are they? Yeah. Why do you think they've been most receptive to your product?
Sure. So our core target's a wellness, fitness-minded millennial female. Our secondary is more the Gen Z, kind of climate conscious, someone who's really reading ingredients and looking at what is the impact of the products, both from a physical impact and emission impact. And one of our key strategic channels is fitness studios, and so that's been a great place for us to really grow our brand, grow that connection with the consumer, and be with them at the kind of the point where they need it the most. Thanks.
My question is a piggyback. How are you successfully straddling hydration and soda? I mean, most consumers might not be aware that the soda that they're drinking or the better for you drink is not hydrating. How are you able to kind of share that message, and are you more with the hydration electrolyte drinks, or are you more on the fizzy fun kind of shelf?
Good question. So we sit in functional beverage, and really I like to be in the gut health aisle because I think that's where people are looking for more premium options. We are not necessarily sourcing volume from soda at this point. I think we say soda because that category is just bringing in all these people into better, healthier, fizzy drinks. But really, our target gave up soda 5 years ago, longer than that. And so we're sourcing people that were buying kombucha, they're buying, a coconut water, and we're bringing them into this kind of fizzy, more lifestyle drink.
You talked about your traction so far in the retailers, 650, which is incredible. What are your plans for future growth in retail, and what kind of retailers?
Sure. So for the short term, focused on the natural channel because we do think that that's where our consumer is currently shopping and a great place to grow the brand. If Whole Foods is in the house, we did submit to their functional beverage review, so hopefully that'll hit. And just growing with partners in that channel. We are having a chat with Target later this show, so I think that could be in the future as we get that tide of consumers with us.
Could you talk a little bit about your sourcing for the maple tree water and the extent to that it provides you or create some exposure to commodity risk?
So we work with a farm partner in upstate New York that we've been developing a relationship with for over 6 years now. We know that they have the capacity. We've talked through the volume projections, so we are confident that they can grow with us. It is a domestic product, so we're not concerned about import and some of the tariff concerns that are going on there. And we believe we can grow with them, and if we need to grow their operation along with us, that's something that we can look at for the future. But for now, maple sap is a lot more abundant than maple syrup, which is the boiled down end product. So it's not a concern of limitation at this point.
Thank you.
All right, I'm back. Next up, we have Carl from Uncle Waithley's.
Hi. Here we go. Hi, I am Carl. I make Vinci Brew, and it's good. Saying ginger beer with Scotch bonnet, hibiscus, smoked pineapple. What? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've been in the beverage industry for about 25 years, from manufacturing to marketing to mixology. Been nationally recognized for what I do, but this is not about me. It's bigger than me. My grandfather is at the soul of this brand. Uncle Waithley lived to be 100 years old. And he instilled in my father, and my father instilled in me, a passion for the all-natural flavors of the Caribbean. So you all know this, the adult non-alcoholic beverage category is growing fast. Functional beverages, non-alcoholic beverages driving the growth. 27%, that's the part that we like to see a lot, up to almost 1 billion after almost nothing just a few years ago. And it's being driven by millennial and Gen Z consumers who are drinking less, but have special needs or special desires. They're looking for authenticity. 86% say authenticity matters when deciding what to buy. But the beverage market lacks an authentic Caribbean brand, something with the flavors that we knew growing up. And that's particularly interesting right now because #1 restaurant in New York City, Tatiana, Caribbean restaurant. #1 coolest neighborhood in the world, Flatbush. And so we got together and launched Uncle Waithley's by combining family legacy, award-winning mixologist-level craftsmanship, sustainability and support of local farmers, and a vibe, that colorful, higher beats per minute energy that we bring from the Caribbean. Put all that together, and we're able to reach a diverse group of consumers, diverse but focused. So consumers who love Caribbean flavors, but also who are looking for better for you options. We have a 3-pronged go-to-market strategy. Reaching consumers directly through Amazon, on-premise with our bartender partners. This enables us to create consumer pull that drives consumers to retail without a large marketing spend. What that has resulted in is a very balanced sort of penetration to this point, both on and off premise. We're focused along the East Coast, but not spreading ourselves too thin. Over the last 18 months, the startup capital that we raised, we've leveraged it for to build a strong foundation for growth. Nowhere is that more evident than in our partnership with Whole Foods. Went from 1 store to 230 stores in 3 years. They're on our cap table. It's pretty cool. Q1 and Q2 of this year, our newest distribution partners are going to be driving significant gains for us. Dora's Natural, one of 40 contract brands. Skurnick Wine and Spirits just started a non-alcoholic drinks division. We're one of the first brands in there. Rolling into 4 new DCs with UNFI. Combined annual growth rate from that about 250%. So we're raising $1 million to invest in sales and marketing to support this growth. My team is poised and ready, and so we're just ready for you all to join the journey to spice up your vibe.
I loved your call out on supporting local farmers. Can you expand a little bit on that and let us know how you're doing that?
Yeah, so there's an organization called the Richmond Vale Academy, which is focused on regenerative agriculture in the island of St. Vincent. So that's the island where my family is from. And that's just an example. So we're collaborating with them on projects on the island, as well as looking for ways of sourcing more from local farmers. It's not the easiest problem to solve, especially because as a small brand, being able to get things here at a price point that we can use, but it's something we're extremely passionate about. Like, I'm not joking. Like, my grandfather would be super proud to be on that bottle right now. He was a ginger farmer. My dad still makes natural beverages on the island, so that kind of connection back to the island is real and deep.
So you mentioned that you're kind of at the intersection of several different NA beverages, functional beverages, maybe mixers. How are you seeing the product used most by consumers right now? Where are they finding it, maybe in the store, or how are they using it?
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on if we're talking on-premise or off. You know, bartenders are either serving us as an alternative. So for consumers who want I hate mocktail, but so as a non-alcoholic cocktail, they're grabbing it that way. In store, we are in sort of we call it modern soda set. We also sit with the mixers, and I mean, most people the best thing in the world. Sampling and watching people pick it up and have a sip of one of our drinks, it blows their mind. That pepper and how so I think people are enjoying it as both a take-home, something to drink on its own, and as a mixer.
If you were to win this pitch contest, or someone was to call you tomorrow and say, "What do you need? I'm going to invest." What would your next unlock be? What do you need to kind of take it to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, so when we think about how we're growing and that sort of that balance of on and off premise, we like to go into markets first with an on-premise category. Getting into wine and spirits distributors is extremely difficult. Beer is a little bit easier, but beer often doesn't have the penetration with the craft bars and restaurants. So it's really starting to tap into that area. I do have somewhat of an unfair advantage because of my reputation within the craft industry. I mean, I teach at the Premier Bar School. I'm involved in, the craft world and things like that. So that does give us a better way in, which is how we were able to land Skurnik. But it's new. Like, the industry particularly the non-alcoholic side of it, has not emerged yet. And so is emerging, and they're still trying to figure out the best ways to get these brands both on and off premise.
You talked about your granddad being the inspiration for the brand, yes, and where you're from being the inspo in addition to like the flavors. So the Jamaican in me connected with the sorrel. Let me just say that. But what are your plans for future growth for a product, and what other ideas do you have in mind?
Yeah, I mean, so for one, we think there's an opportunity to wrap ourselves around that bartender occasion. And so when we think tonic, there's some really cool ways to go there. Soda. The water that we use in Uncle Waithley's is a mineral water. I couldn't import spa water, is what we call it in St. Vincent. It's too expensive to bring it here. So we made our own, which is what bartenders do. And it's basically a mineral, it's a mineral water, right? So the idea is, we think that the approach to hydration in the Caribbean as an underwriting theme is unique. And that's really what we want to bring. So we'll apply that to products like tonic, like soda, some other flavors that we have. We have some really cool flavors, which I'm not going to tell. There's too many people in here. Grab me later, I'll tell you about those.
Oh.
Next, we have Michael from Wild Orchard.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, I'm Michael, co-founder of Wild Orchard. I studied nutrition in college, fascinated by food's impact on health. But when I first set foot on our tea farm on Jeju Island, the theory I learned in school became reality. Nature was alive. Geese, our natural-born weeders, roamed freely, and the soil thrived without chemicals. Since 1999, we've let nature cultivate our teas. We didn't have a name for it back then, but today we call it regenerative, farming that heals the earth while nourishing our bodies. Our award-winning lineup includes artisan loose leaf, compostable tea bags, and our best-selling matcha. Our teas are unmatched in origin, coming direct from the world's first regenerative organic certified tea farm, unmatched in flavor with 26 medals at the Grand Slam of Tea competitions, and unmatched in climate impact, as 1 kilogram of our tea sinks 380 kilograms of carbon from the air into the soil. We're launching something big here, our matcha latte line, made with A2 gut-friendly milk, sweetened with maple sap. Come taste the future of matcha tomorrow in the North Hall lobby. After 25 years of dedication, our farmers saw the teas they produced on Whole Foods shelves for the first time. The emotion on their faces was indescribable. We're not just growing tea, we're uplifting the people behind it. Tea isn't niche, it's an $8.3 billion market, and the fastest growing segment is matcha RTD. Consumers are demanding cleaner, nutrient-dense beverages, and Wild Orchard is leading the charge. We grew to 300 stores last year and are doubling this year, but it's not just about growth, we're focused on velocity with our incredible retail partners. Beyond our own brand, we're helping others go regenerative. Brands like Steve's are using our tea concentrate to elevate their already great products. Our success is driven by an incredible team in New York and Korea and the guidance of industry pioneers who share our vision. In just the past 2 years, we launched into Jimbo's, then Whole Foods last year, and Sprouts this coming May. The #1 rated restaurant and spa in the US serve our teas. And we helped fuel the Super Bowl champion Eagles this past season with our matcha. Go Birds! Our business has been doubling every year since our inception with overall gross margins of over 50%. Winning tonight will help us bring regenerative organic tea to more people, changing the way the world drinks tea. Together, let's build a regenerative future, one step at a time. Thank you.
You have some amazing products with some extra premium ingredients that obviously would demand a high price point. How have you managed to combat that price point and get that product into our customers' carts by creating a value with that price point?
It's really tough. They say that price is a main issue in the absence of value. So I've done like 70 demos myself last year, including at your stores. And when you get people to taste it, educate them why it tastes that way, its impact on human health and ecological health, our planet, I think it resonates. That value proposition becomes clear. Last month, my last demo, I sold 69 units. So that education is key, really.
And this may be a build on that, but you mentioned that matcha was your best selling product. Why do you think that SKU or product in particular
It's all because of TikTok. TikTok created a global shortage of matcha. The great thing is we have a lot of matcha, so and it's the highest quality. So we actually innovated. There's classic matcha that everyone, I'm sure you're familiar with, but we actually ground our black tea leaf and we created a black matcha, and we created an RTD, and we're actually launching it in the North Hall tomorrow. So come on by. We're gonna have it for you guys.
How have you taken advantage of the TikTok craze? I mean, what are you guys doing to either lead that kind of a conversation or capitalize on it? And I just noticed that your branding and your packaging is so different from what you would see other tea companies. I wonder if that is part of who you're trying to capture and conversation you're trying to be a part of.
It's definitely awkward in the beginning because we're more understated elegance type of branding.
Yeah.
So we have to still figure out TikTok. The great thing is we hired a social media person, and we're really gonna dive into that. We've been so focused on retail the last couple of years, but we realize it all fits together. So we gotta like synergize everything together.
Can you talk a little bit about your path to profitability?
So we're expecting to hit profitability this year. It's been a tough 5 years, and we're bootstrapped. So we learned how to control costs. We don't waste anything. We have a small, really dedicated team, but that's why I think we're primed for growth, because we were very disciplined until now. So I think we can, the next couple of years are going to be very interesting for us.
You talked about educating your consumers. Who are your core consumers, do you think? Talked about TikTok a little bit. Who do you think your core consumers are?
Definitely health conscious. Like I mentioned, people are looking for cleaner ingredients and they want transparency. So our advantage is it's our farm. And this May, we're having our first tea festival. Whole Foods documentary team is coming. They're going to shoot 3 days. And we're so excited because an organization like that is going to be able to share our story. We're also inviting a lot of tea farms from around the world who want to go regenerative. So we feel a huge responsibility, not just to build our brand, but to uplift the whole tea industry.
Talk to me about how you made the switch from your tea bags to the tea can. I mean, how has that gone? Do you anticipate more expansion into just different categories, or what's the plan?
Someone mentioned it before, but we want to be a lifestyle brand that has green tea as the basis. Green tea is 5,000 years old, and it's one of the healthiest, in my mind, it's the healthiest drink you can consume. So we want to eventually, like candies, ice pops, have our regenerative green tea in all of those different categories. But that's a little down the road. We got a lot of work to do until then. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have Willa's Organic, and come on stage, Christina.
Willa's is cleaning up a category shopped by 70% of Americans. When you look at the plant-based milk category, it's a lot of sameness, a lot of artificial ingredients, tons of sugar, rapeseed oil, not a lot of plants. Our products were not born out of a lab. They came from her, my grandmother, who was making oat milk way before it was cool with wholesome ingredients from her kitchen. And when you look at the SPINS data on this category, if you look at the brands that have a little bit less sugar or simple ingredients, they're up 171% year over year. When you look at Willa's retail sales between January of last year and January of this year, our retail sales are up 700% and growing. They come for the label, but they stay for the taste. Willa's whole plant IP means we use the whole entire oat, not just oat sugar. The whole oat groat, to be exact. And for that reason, we have 1 gram of sugar per cup from the oats versus 5 to 15 grams with other options, and the most protein and prebiotic fiber. But most importantly, it makes it taste super rich and smooth and deliciously creamy. When you look at the kids' products in this category, they tend to have the most processed ingredients, the most additives, and the most sugar of all. And when parents started coming to us and asking us, will you please make a kids product, we listened, and we created one with 8 grams of protein, plant-based calcium, and plant-based DHA. Willa's pricing is premium, but we have a vision for creating a more accessible price point for more families. We have been very strategic and focused in our growth, but at the end of this year, at the end of this month, we will be in almost all of the states with just 3 to go. And we started in independent grocers like Jimbo's and Erewhon, and then recently we did a deal with Rainforest, expanding distribution up and down the East Coast. In June, we launched in 200 Target doors, and Target doubled down in January, launching us in a total of 420. And then at the end of this month, we're launching our 2 new kids lunchbox-sized SKUs in 600 Target stores. Our Amazon data is a really great testament to how loyal our fan base is. 44% of our Amazon orders are subscribe and save. And we have a net positive impact. Our organic oats are climate change fighting superheroes. They sequester carbon, they improve the soil health, and because we use the whole entire oat, we have 0 food waste in our process. We've done a ton of collabs, which have really helped get the word out, including 2 with Erewhon. We've been loved by the press. We're a 3-time Nexty finalist, including this year with our kids product. And we are raising money to fuel all of this growth. Please join Gary Hirschberg, the founder of Stonyfield, Andrew Abraham, the founder of Orgain, Walter Robb, the former CEO of Whole Foods, as investors in Willa's. And swing by our booth and try it for yourself, number 5658 in Holly.
You have an awesome product, Gary, you at Jimbo's, and you guys have been around for a long time, since the beginning of these ambient sets. What made you go with an ambient container as opposed to being in a fresh set, and how do you think you're capturing customers that are shopping both formats?
Yeah, we are very intentional about our sourcing because we look at it from our values on the health side as well as on the sustainability side. We actually wanted to do glass bottles in the early days and then realized that that might mean we'd have to have like bubble wrap, which is kind of defeating the purpose. And so as we were looking at the packaging options, we love that Tetra, helps prevent food waste. The shelf-stable packaging and the longer shelf life, they suck out the air and create this vacuum seal. It allows us to actually keep our costs down because we can do larger runs. And of course, that means we can have a lower price point than we would otherwise. And it is fairly sustainable. They use forestry certified paperboard. It also means that there are stores that have us in 2 locations, like Erewhon. We're in the shelf-stable aisle. We're also in the fridge. Most retailers put Willa's in the fridge because our target is looking for fresher ingredients, organic, and that's where they tend to look.
You mentioned you guys use the whole oat. I'm curious for the, not the purpose of it, but is it something that really differentiates you guys from the competition? Are other people doing this too? What's kind of the purpose behind the whole oat?
Yeah, I love talking about this. Willa's is the only one to use the whole entire oat, and it's actually the whole oat groat, so you get all parts of the oat. And it is very differentiating because most options, if you see they have a lot of sugar oftentimes and less protein and fiber, that's because they're not using the oat, they're using more of the oat sugar. We really wanted to create something that was more akin to what my grandmother was doing and our belief in using whole plant-based ingredients and not wasting anything. And so using the whole oat means you've got this rich flavor, less sugar, more protein, and it's better for the planet because we're not wasting any of the oat material.
Talk to me about your SKUs for kids, because I'm a mom, and that was the first thing that I noticed when I received the Willa, is how different of a product that is from other oat or plant-based products for kids.
Yeah, these products have been almost 2 years in the making. We had a lot of parents asking for them, and then we started kind of doing a lot of consumer research and just realized there was this huge gap. So many kids are lactose intolerant or have allergies. And we were kind of shocked to find that, you go down the juice box aisle, there are a lot of brands that are the same as when I was growing up, and I'm in my 40s. I mean, it looks kind of the same. So we just thought, okay, what if we can create something that is really tasty, kids love it, but isn't a sugar bomb, doesn't spike their glycemic index, has as much protein as dairy, has whole ingredients, has calcium and DHA, which they need for longevity and bone health and brain health. And we worked with pediatricians, and the brilliance of our team is really Elena, my sister, and Laura, who are our lead R&D. They're the ones that develop these amazing products.
What is one of your biggest roadblocks right now for growth?
I mean, we're about to 4x our business this year. We're on track to doing that. And so we're really being mindful about how we scale. And, every year we have this culture of continuous improvement. We've been improving our margins, improving our processes. And I guess the biggest barrier is maybe self-inflicted because we have such a big vision for this brand, and we want to be the one that really delivers on what consumers have been asking for in a big way. And now that we're ready to scale, we just need to do it.
Next up, we have Cynthia from Zinca Foods.
Hi, I'm Cynthia, and I'm founder of Zinca Foods. Growing up in South Central LA, I never had trouble finding amazing Latino food. It was everywhere. I never had to go far to seek out my comfort food. And I was lucky. My mom often cooked my Salvadorian favorites. But when I moved away to pursue a career in data analytics, I really miss Salvadorian food. I recall thinking that I would be able to find frozen pupusas since they're a popular dish. But I was wrong. That's when I had the idea. Zinca Foods is the first Salvadoran frozen food brand in the American market. At Zinca Foods, we create authentic, high-quality Salvadorian meals that are easy to cook and that everyone can enjoy. Currently, we offer 3 delicious varieties of our delicious pupusas. First, we have beans and cheese, my best seller and my mother's recipe. Then we have my childhood favorites, loroco and cheese and zucchini and cheese. What makes our pupusas so special is that they taste homemade, but we manufacture them in our facility in Arlington, Washington, where we use 80% renewable energy and source our ingredients from local farmers whenever possible. Having my own manufacturing facility means that I can ensure that we deliver the highest quality products. And we're getting results. We've seen 300% growth year over year, fueled by the growing demand for ethnic frozen foods, a category expanding at 8.3% annually. Our commitment to quality and authentic taste is clearly resonating. We are what's now and what's next. That's why we're looking for strategic partners to support our next phase of growth. Zinca Foods is a Latina-owned, self-funded company, and you can find our amazing products nationwide through hsn.com. And if you live in Washington or Texas, you can find us at these locations. Zinca Foods is not just about providing high-quality Salvadorian meals, it's about connecting you with my family and heritage. And if you want to taste my amazing products, find us at booth N1530. And I wanted to take a brief moment to thank my family for being here today and always supporting my dreams. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you talk a little bit about your future product expansions?
Yes, so we are planning to launch our quesadilla dessert. We were supposed to launch it in March. A quesadilla is a Salvadoran traditional dessert. It is made with rice flour. It's also gluten-free, like all of our products. And then another item that we're planning to launch is our curtido. We're refreshing that as well because it's the companion for the pupusas.
Okay, now I'm hungry. I'm curious how you've been able to educate customers on your product.
Yes, so we actually do a lot of in-store demos. When we do in-store demos, that's where we do a lot of our education. But I also learned that there's a lot of people who already know what are pupusas, especially in heavily populated areas. For example, Texas, Los Angeles, New York, but in other regions, that's where we're doing a lot more demos and focusing our efforts in.
In terms of preparation, how do you educate consumers on not just why they should buy it or what it tastes like, but really how to take something, frozen and make sure that it tastes the way that you want it to when they make it at home?
Yeah, so in the back, we actually have a QR code where you can scan and you can actually see the video of how to make the product, like how to cook the product. And the reason why I did that was because as a consumer, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna wanna know how to cook this, And so I know people don't read instructions, so that's why I put in the QR code. And I feel like it's made it easier for people to scan that and and be able to do that.
Could you talk a little bit about your manufacturing facility? Why did you end up self-manufacturing and what leverage, I guess, has that given you?
Yeah, so when I launched Zinca, I did a 6-month test run. We did direct to consumer before we actually went into retail, just because I wanted to see the landscape if people actually wanted this product, right? And so we were looking for a co-packer, and then so I noticed that there was a gap in the market and well, this was our opportunity. And so all of our equipment is actually unique to make this product. And that's the reason why we took this route, just because we're very unique in that aspect.
Your bean and cheese is outrageously delicious, I have to say myself. You did an awesome job on this product. As you expand and you move into more natural channels, do you predict that any particular certifications or ingredient standards will be a barrier to entry into those? And if so, how do you think you'll overcome those?
Yeah, and I want to say the one who created the recipe is sitting over there. That's my mom. She's the one who made the recipe, so you should be thanking her. So yes, we are planning to do that in the future. But right now, we're very focused in our manufacturing facility because we are focused in scaling up. And so for us, our investment is making sure that we're paying our employees a livable wage, and making sure that we are focusing on that. For us, like the certifications will come secondary.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to ask a finance question. Can you talk about your margin profile and maybe even in relation to the self-manufacturing too? What leverage you're getting there?
So because we're a privately held company, I don't really want to disclose that, if that's okay. But if you were interested, I can definitely talk to you offline.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. We're both back.
Let's see if we can do it this time.
Yeah, maybe.
So now is the exciting part. The judges get to stand up, go backstage, and start deliberating. They're gonna, go for it. We're on a timer.
We're in charge here.
So they're gonna go back. We're gonna start figuring out who the brands are. But here's the exciting part for you.
We're going to be doing audience polling. So scan this QR code. There'll be instructions when you get there, and vote for your favorite. And we'll be announcing the winners of the audience and from the judges later on.
Yeah, so let the voting begin. Get your votes in. Your vote matters.
Yeah, please vote.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
We are so excited to have you here. That's right. Round of applause. We have some incredible brands that are about to be pitching to you all this evening. We have an awesome group of judges. And now for the winner of Natural Products Expo West Pitch Slam, Painterland Sisters. Pitch Slam!
Could we have the QR code thrown up there one more time? There's people in the audience asking for it. There we go. Perfect. Welcome out last year's winners. Look at this crew. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, wherever. Take a seat. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So let's go straight down the line. In case some of you weren't here last year, I'd love you to give a quick reminder of who you are and what your brand is. Let's start right here with you, Tim.
Hey everybody, I'm Tim with Philosopher Foods. We create gut nuts, the world's first and only fermented and dehydrated almonds, cashews, and peanuts. And we create nuts that are bringing gut health to snack nuts and snackification to fermented foods.
Very nice.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Painter.
My sister and my sister and I have an organic skyr yogurt company named Painterland Sisters, and we source the milk from our family's fourth generation organic regenerative dairy farm in northern Pennsylvania. We also source from about 25 other farms in our local area. We have a high protein, naturally lactose-free, extra creamy, defiantly dreamy yogurt.
Hi everybody, I'm David. I'm one of the co-founders of Keikoa Foods, which is an organic baby food, or we like to call just food puree, because it's great for kids 6 months to adult. They have a gentle herb, spice, lots of vegetables, and it helps expand the palate and nutrition for our little ones and even the adults who don't necessarily get your vegetables.
Hi everyone, I'm Danny Ald, co-founder with my husband David, and everything he just said. Thank you.
Keeps it simple. So I'm just going to go down the line because we'll make it really easy. So Tim, since last year, I know you briefly mentioned it, but peanuts are something new for you. So I'd love to hear a little bit about this.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, so we just launched fermented peanuts today at Expo West. Fresh ideas. Very exciting. We really wanted to pick the #1 snack nut in America and make a better for you, gut healthy version of it. So what we do is we take the peanuts and we lacto ferment them in a probiotic brine, and it creates tangy, umami, savory sourdough nuts. You can kind of think basically sourdough nuts. And then we take them out of the brine after the fermentation is complete, dehydrate them into a crunchy, craveable, shelf-stable snack nut. And so this is a product that's really designed to boost gut health through prebiotics, postbiotics, and also to boost soil health, because the peanut is a great nitrogen-fixing crop, and through regenerative agriculture, we're able to sequester carbon in the soil and sequester additional water as well.
Very cool, very cool. Now, what is up? Like, what has happened? I feel like you've had a whirlwind since I've last seen you on this stage.
Yes, we have. First of all, my sister got married, so that's what happened last year, big event. But Painterland Sisters, we actually, since we last saw you and we were here, we were projected to hit about $5.3 million in sales in 2024, and we actually hit $12 million in sales, which is awesome. And that has allowed us to basically utilize 9 million pounds of organic regenerative milk. So supporting farmers, and in Pennsylvania specifically. So, you know, that's one of our missions, is to keep farmers farming, and what that means for basically the health of our land and for the health of generations to come. So we're also launched into Publix in 2024, so that was very cool. And Fresh Time, PCC, some really great accounts and partnerships. Again, partnering with 25 family farms and continuing to utilize the yogurt as a conduit to just educate on the importance of regenerative agriculture, specifically grazing animals like dairy cows, and making dairy cool and relatable, and what that means for our bodies and the health of our families. Yeah.
Okay, I have to ask one thing, because something you said hits close to home for me. A lot of people don't know this. I grew up on a farm, a dairy farm in particular in Canada. How are you supporting? Like, how are you able to support and create this awareness for these family farms? I mean, that's something that's super important with everything that's going on.
Yeah, so only 15% of people know a farmer, and that allows a lot of room for just misunderstanding, and specifically with dairy. And so we're able to basically connect consumers utilizing the yogurt. We do a lot of on-package storytelling. So on the back of our yogurt is basically QR codes that can lead more to, you know, how we farm and how our other farmers farm. And we go to events all over the country and all over the world, actually, to talk about this in a fun, loving way, because we're millennial women. We're able to connect in a different way than, you know, my dad and grandpa could. And so we talk a lot about agriculture, and we talk a lot about what it means to our rural economies and what that really ends up meaning to our Mother Earth, right, and to our bodies. So, yeah, the more yogurt we sell, the more we're able to support the people who feed us. And because we all wouldn't be here today without agriculture. Agriculture's food, fiber, and fuel. And we really starts there. So being a farmer-owned product as a fourth generation farmer is really important for us, and we feel like it is our mission, and like why we're put on this earth is just to talk about farming in like a super fun way that people want to relate to it and understand it. Because like I said, 15% of people know a farmer, 45% of family farms, dairy farms in Pennsylvania went out of business in the last 10 years, and we need to do something about it, or in another 10 years, I mean, we just won't have food if we continue on this pace, so.
Whew, that's heavy. All right, gentlemen, you are up to something that I think is really interesting. Taste training. I want to learn more about this.
Of course, yeah. So we have many veggie-forward products. We have a beets, fennel, and kale. We have a shawarma artichoke and cauliflower with navy bean. And so many people, when they see the products and ask us about it, they're like, well, my child doesn't eat vegetables, so I'm not going to bother giving them this. And we think that's a real problem, because before a child turns 2, they're actually most open to trying new foods. And the foods that we are familiar with, the foods that we are exposed to, are the foods that we eat. So we wanted to make sure that parents knew that they could put a little bit of effort in and to make it a routine. Just like sleep training, you don't give up the first time that the child doesn't go to sleep when you put them down to bed. So with taste training, we introduce the different products to our customers and to the parents so that they can expose their children to flavorful food that's nutrient dense and really healthy. And it's really resonating with our customers. They really love the idea of gradually exposing them. And we built the program, and we have it endorsed by Dr. Nicole Avina, who is a neuroscientist and nutritionist. And the response we're getting is just so exciting, and more and more parents are really understanding that they should be trying to introduce these foods early and often.
And we've also heard back from some of the customers that with the taste training program that they're starting to incorporate our products with other foods. So when you have toddlers or a little bit older, you want to include our curry vegetable mango. Danny had mentioned earlier the shawarma artichoke, or even the squash, kale, and turmeric, and they mix it with either a rice or maybe even a cauliflower rice or even noodles, so that you're taking what has traditionally been done instead of doing the butter and noodles, you can do the curry vegetable mango and noodles, where you're getting the flavor profile, you're expanding the palate for the child, and you're setting up the foundation for really healthy training for eating for the rest of their life.
I think I might actually eat that. That sounds delicious.
I'm sure you will.
So, Tim, I know that you are continuing to grow. You were opening up your own facility, I believe, and you have a little campaign going. I figured you might want to give that a little shout out while you have this opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. So also today at the show, so we opened what we call affectionately the Nut House, which is the world's first and only fermentation facility for nuts. That was in Santa Rosa, California. We opened that last August, and it was a great move. It allowed us to create the product. No co-packers would touch it. Fermentation people didn't want to touch tree nuts, and tree nut people didn't want to touch fermentation. So we were kind of forced to do it. It was a really risky move because it's very capital intensive, obviously, to self-manufacture. But good news is the quality is higher than it's ever been, and the COGS are lower than they've ever been. And we're really able to scale this breakthrough concept. So to fund this, we're launching a WeFunder today at Expo West. So if you go to wefunder.com/philosopherfoods, you can invest for as little as $100, and we welcome you all to become investomers, which is a contraction of investor and customers. So thank you.
That's awesome. Go check it out. Let's keep supporting these brands. That's the best thing. All right, and I'm gonna throw this out there. So, what is the biggest change that you have noticed since you got on the stage? You got up here, you pitched. Anxiety was high, we were all nervous backstage. These poor individuals back here waiting for results. What was the biggest change that you found coming off of the stage, walking out in the audience after you pitched last year? What happened?
So I think the energy that carried us from the Pitch Slam last year has just grown. Like as soon as we got off the stage and we went back to our booth, we got a ton of people at our booth, and a ton of those connections, and those connections turned into partnerships, and those partnerships turned into a lot of different areas of success for us and growth. And so it was, I'm an energy person. That energy just carried us through to our growth of just that, our projections to what we actually hit, and now into 2025 continuing to grow, and just the recognition really helped in a lot of different ways. So people stopped us, and we were able to shake hands and look them in the eyes and form those meaningful relationships. So I think that's really cool. Like, we're in about 4,500 stores right now, and with the connections that we made after this pitch slam last year, we're going to hit about 6,000 stores by the end of the year. So that's really cool for like a farmer-owned, woman-owned, just dairy country girls, I guess. So.
That's beautiful. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, I would say, being able to be on this stage, it just causes so much brand awareness. We got so many press opportunities that came out of it, and we were able to speak with more and more retailers. We got into Wakefern, so we have about 50 ShopRite and Fairway stores that we're currently selling in. Next month, we're launching in Fresh Time. So we're really excited about the different retail opportunities we had. And we also got a golden ticket for Walmart.com. So we'll be launching there very soon with some different bundle packs that we have.
It's beautiful. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, we got some awesome retail opportunities as well. We got to do the Sprouts innovation section for 3 months last summer. And we sold gut nuts successfully to their consumers, found that we had a good market for our product in their stores. So we're hoping to roll out this year, September, when our category review hits full-time nationwide. We also launched in Whole Foods, Northern California this January. So we're working on proving our velocity out to the Whole Foods consumer as well, and being able to scale in retail. And I think, to your point, Stephanie, just the energy. I was outside barefoot, grounding before my pitch. My nerves were just like through the roof. And I just had to leave and get calm. And I learned to quiet before something very stressful, like a pitch, something very high energy. And then I was able to bring that calm into my pitch. And I think people really felt that. In pitches, you get a lot of cortisol, a lot of that adrenaline kind of feeling. And I learned how to cultivate dopamine and just calmness. And that was a skill set that carried through. So I went on to win the Nationally Bay Area Pitch Slam in May last year, and I did several different pitch slams. So I'm just much more comfortable with public speaking now as a result of this experience. So that's been really helpful for me.
That's amazing. That's really great. So all of you are here at this show, and I'm going to throw this out the end because if we're not going to put out positive energy, we're not going to get there. Who here, what is your goal? If you were to meet somebody here at this show, who do you want to meet that would help you to the next level? Who are you looking to meet? And we can go Tim, and we'll write down the line. Who are you looking here? Who do you need to meet?
We need to meet investors, which could be any of you for as little as $100. And people that want to write checks north of $50K as well. We're raising $500,000 in total, so any investors in the room that care about gut health and snackifying fermented food, please find me afterwards and we'll chat. The second piece would be anyone that wants to sell fermented nuts, whether you're a retailer, whether you're food service, or any alternative channels, hotels, airlines, corporate campuses, convenience, etc. We need to up our sales to reach break even this year.
Yes, of course, echoing the sales piece, anybody who wants to sell a premium organic dairy product and help us keep farmers farming and provide nutrients at the convenience of a store shelf from a farmer-owned product is who we would like to meet. Food service, really interested in that. Also, just innovative ways to grow our dairy products in general as a premium dairy brand is really important. Connecting with different partnerships, intentional partnerships to help grow, like I said, the different ideas that we have. I think that's what's so interesting about this is we don't know who we're really going to talk to. We have some meetings and different things like that, but it's the anticipation of, okay, well, we're going to meet somebody probably in the next 3 days that's going to change the trajectory of everything. So just excited to have open conversations and get my ideas flowing. And sorry, my team, because I'm sure they'll start flowing, and then we'll go in, and that's really what Expo does. And for us in general is just like, hey, like, we don't know what we're going to get into, but what we get into is going to just launch us into the next phase of our growth. So super excited about the unknown, I guess. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I would agree. Investors are always a good key partner for a CPG brand that wants to keep growing. So contact us afterwards. Anybody out there? But also, to your point, the unknown. I love Expo West because it's always the unexpected meeting. It's the unexpected, hey, I'm talking to so-and-so. Please come on over here. Sure. And it ends up being a very fruitful conversation, either to talk about your business, to further additional retailers that you want to get into, or suppliers. It's really the after-hours connections is really, I think, what makes this show such a powerful show, because so many people are here wanting to help you to get your brand going, to get it and accelerate it, and I just love those conversations.
Yeah, I would agree with what everyone has said. In addition to investors and folks that want to sell our products to learn more about possibly selling them, I would also encourage brands to talk to each other, because this is such an amazing community. We've gotten so much help and support from other brands, from retailers, from all the different conversations that we've had. And so any brands out there that are looking to connect, build relationships, ask questions, try to understand, how do you get to be able to pitch at something like Expo West, happy to talk to you. And brands that are a little bit more seasoned than us, please stop and talk to us as well, because we know we can keep learning. It's always an evolution and never stops. So
I think that's the amazing thing about Expo West. You have such a blend of brands, from brand new brands to brands with so much experience and the knowledge that gets shared. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to have to put you on the spot here. For people that were not here last year, and for those that were here, they know what's coming. These gentlemen won the People's Choice Award last year, and partially because of their amazing product. But there's something else special that they've done, and I've asked if I could be part of it this year, and they said no, which was really disappointing for me. But gentlemen, I was wondering if you could show us what set you apart from everybody else last year.
Sure.
Do you guys want to see what this is? I mean, come on now. Give these boys a round of applause. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Woo! And he's wearing jeans.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful having you guys on stage and seeing you all again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you, everybody.
Good job. Oh, so good.
Thank you.
Oh my God. So good.
Okay.
Ooh, it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
It's really big. Okay. Good.
Ooh.
I'll put it here.
Yeah, well, we're going to hide that for a second.
All right. So I'm here to announce the winners. I'm very excited. So the audience choice winner for tonight is Zinka Foods. Congratulations.
Congratulations! Yeah.
Good job.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And
now for the runner-up. So the runner-up winner tonight is Wild Orchard.
Congratulations!
Woo.
Together?
What?
Together?
Yeah. Congrats.
Congratulations. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for.
The winner of tonight's pitch slam, is Recoup Beverages.
Woo! Woo! Congratulations! Yeah! Beautiful. All right, now let's all get in real close here.
Taking a selfie.
Oh yeah, every year we got to do a selfie.
Where am I
I got to do Johnny Tran and the 301 Inc. crew.
Want me to do it?
Proud. So here we go. Ready? Everybody get
Oh
in.
my God.
Get in. Get in. Get in. Get in. Nice tight. Oh, there we are. Everybody's in. Yeah! Give them a huge round of applause, everybody.
There we go.
Woo! Come on in here, everybody. Yep.
There we
Yeah,
go.
more group shots.
Very priceless. Oh, you know, hold it up.
Hold that check up. Nice and big. Woohoo!
Nice. That's so good. And now we exit.
I'd love to invite the rest of the brands up. Yeah, stay on stage. No, stay on stage. I'd like to invite all the brands up. Judges, come on up. Let's all get a photo together, please.
That's fun. Now you get a big check to bring home. Neither have I.
There we go. Yeah, get up here. Get in up here. Everybody in here. Sponsors. Yay! Come on,
You
everybody.
guys did a great job.
Done. Are you so happy?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can do another big selfie. Everybody up here. Ready?
Oh, we're doing a big selfie.
Yeah.
All right, we ready? You think we can
Wide
pull this
angle.
off? Get in real tight, everybody. Real
Okay.
tight, real tight, real tight, real tight.
Oh, these big hats.
Yeah.
Is everybody in there? Oh, yeah! Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah, come on, everybody in. They're going to take a lot of pictures.